What's up, everyone? I am here with former UFC featherweight and newly signed Bellator featherweight Kai Kamaka III. So, like I mentioned, you just joined Bellator a few weeks ago. What kind of inspired that move away from the UFC over to Bellator?
Um, More money, and I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to go somewhere where, I mean, that was wanting me to. I know I want to stay active, obviously, but I also didn't want to be somebody that they call last minute all the time. I mean, regardless, I'm gonna take those fights, but I just wanna. Yeah, no, I wanted time to prepare. Of course, um, I'm always in the gym, but I just wanted it to. I wanted push for myself, and UFC didn't, or at the time, it just I was reaching out my options to see who was willing to give me the push.
Yeah. So, not to, I guess, to get the negative stuff out of the way early, but your last fight ended in a draw because of some point deductions. Some of them, in my opinion, were a little ticky tack, especially on the groin strike. But do you think those were justified? And if you win that fight, do you think that you would have stuck around in the UFC, or were you kind of gone regardless?
Um, at the I would have been at that same point because I didn't have a contract prior to I didn't extend my contract prior to that fight, so I would have had to renegotiate, which I was in that process of um where do I sign with next, and at the same time that's all the things you could like. I just ended my 4 fight deal. It wasn't the UFC cut me. I fought my 4 fights out, and then I had to figure out what was next. I mean, yeah, I that does. I mean, sure, that might change some things. If I win that fight, but I would still be in the same spot as far as like negotiations. I was free to talk to anybody because my contract we didn't extend before that fight.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if I win that fight, maybe I do stick around UFC. But I mean, I can't. Obviously we don't know because I just a most like a bizarre fight. My last 2 fights to me are like so bizarre that it's like I don't even know what to think.
Yeah. Yeah. And so something that I do think is very interesting about you is you come from just an insane line of athletes in your family. Your brother was a wide receiver at the University of Hawaii. Your uncle was in the UFC. Your cousin's a PFL champ. So when you're growing up as a kid with just such great athletes around you, is there a lot of added pressure to be like that?
um, I would say yeah, kind of. I mean, just because we want to do great, and you almost get accustomed to just being the front runner of your sport, your team. You being the guy on your team, being the guy in the family. You don't want to be you don't want to be the but you got this guy did great stuff. Okay, I got to do good stuff too. And then but it was just I don't know. And I mean the hard work, and then just what was expected of ourselves because we wanted to be like each other. Kind of helped make us great. I think that was the main thing. So I don't know what happened there.
That's okay. Oop, you're gone. Back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, are you good?
Yeah, yeah, I'm good. I
Oh,
don't know what
cool.
maybe something was calling my. Yeah, something was probably happening. I don't know.
Oh,
Somebody was
good. No
calling. Somebody was
worries.
like going in and out. But
Yeah.
yeah, to touch back on that is yeah. I mean, everybody's kind of doing good. Everybody has doing great, even from Pop Warner football to youth wrestling. You want to do good too, and then kind of just everybody just kind of rallies off of each other, and then you end up rolling the ball all the way to being in the UFC. My cousin's a PFL world champ. My brother played Division 1 football. Yeah, my cousin Blake, he was a national champ NAIA wrestler. So, I mean, doing great things and doing the best you can. That's what kind of sheds off on each other.
Right. Definitely. And we mentioned the University of Hawaii. Your brother played there, so I assume you're a massive fan of the football team. How are we feeling about them this year?
Shoot, I'm just a massive fan of. I mean, yeah, Hawaii, just because. I mean, you got to be right. That's the only like major sports team in Hawaii. Um, but I mean, I don't know. Right now, is the past couple of years haven't been too well, or it's been okay, not nothing great. But you always got to look out for the home team.
Yeah. I'm from New Jersey, so on the East Coast. And because of the time difference, like everyone here watches way too much Hawaii football. Those Saturday nights, they're on at like 1 a.m. So we catch a ton of Hawaii football
Oh,
around
really?
here.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, especially the gamblers. They love it because they lose all day. And then you still got Hawaii playing at 1 a.m. in the morning of your last
Yeah,
chance.
that's you can always count on that game to recoup.
Yeah, you always bet on Hawaii on the island. But I also saw on your social media you were at the UFC comedy night out in Vegas. So were you performing there or did you just watch?
No, I watch Adam Hunter. Whenever he comes to town, he always invites me. So yeah, he called or he texted me for if I wanted to go. So yeah, I try to go as much as I can just to support my dad. That was a great night because usually, I mean, that was the most UFC and like MMA personnel at one of his events that I've been to.
Mm.
Which is, I mean, it was all UFC. I mean, Bellator, MMA veterans there. When you say UFC, it's almost all MMA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Personnel, because lots of Bellator guys went to UFC. So yeah, there's a lot of us there, which is cool because nobody is safe in the crowd because you all like you can just get rammed.
Yeah. Was it just him performing or were there any fighters trying their shot? I couldn't really tell.
Yeah, it'll be on Fight Pass.
Oh, okay.
I think what was it Henry Cejudo, Din Thomas, and Chael.
They all performed.
Yeah, yeah.
Which fighter do you think has the best knack for comedy?
It was weird because I mean it was all funny, but they all had their different style.
Yeah.
Like Henry had like his style was like starting off like telling a story of like his life, athletic career with jokes in between, um, in different times of his life, and then Thomas comes out with like a rap in the beginning, and then tells like his BJ Penn fight joke as I mean his BJ Penn fight as it's called, like his story is called, well, like the best BJ's ever had. And then but so it's a funny story of that event. And then Chael Sonnen has like only tells only one joke, but like builds us up to it, but only one joke. You know, it's like what the hell. So it had their own style, but it was cool experience.
That's great. Would you ever consider giving it a shot or do you don't think that's for you?
Uh no, this I mean, that's not for me, and then at least not right now.
Yeah. It's crazy because yeah, I remember, you know, that show Dana White Looking for a Fight where the Dana White, Matt Serra, they do all the crazy shit. They travel. There's one where they did the comedy. It was so crazy. They had Matt Serra and Dean Thomas again, watching them go up there, like guys that have fought the best of MMA, the highest pressure, but like they can handle that. But then they go up and do the comedy and shitting their pants. I guess the fear of that, I mean, that scares the shit out of me too.
Well, because I mean, you're good at what you're good at,
yeah.
right? So it's like when something new comes and funny, it's totally different.
Yeah. I guess I'm just a double bitch because I'm scared of fighting and comedy. but so yeah, like we said, you're newly signed in Bellator. So do you have any idea of when you're looking to fight? Maybe an opponent in mind? Anything like that?
I mean, I am looking to fight December, what is it, 3rd in Connecticut. I'm hoping to fight that date. No opponent. You know, nothing on the horizon. That's just the date that I'm aiming for. I'm hoping I get. But yeah, I mean, I don't care who it is. I just want to fight.
Want to get in there, yeah. And last question, I love to ask all the guys this because it really never disappoints. So you're before you get to the UFC, Bellator, all these big promotions, what kind of jobs were you working before you were able to kind of be a fighter on a higher scale?
So I never worked a regular job in my life.
Wow.
Because I wrestled in college, and then you know, I got my degree. But once I came home, my cousin Ray. I mean, I was always gonna fight, and I was kind of fighting. I was fighting already, but my cousin Ray was getting ready for fights, trying to get to the next level already, which kind of like that's all I was thinking about. Is once I get home from Nebraska, I can't wait to trade multiple times a day. And I mean, thank God it's paying off, right?
It certainly is. Yeah. I guess
Well, I
that
mean,
goes. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I wouldn't be able to. I don't know. I cannot say like I wouldn't be able to handle working right now. Like just
Yeah.
because I mean, if you go into the workforce right away, and that's what you want to do, I think it's like mentally you're ready to do it, you know. But like when you're holding on to your athletic career like as long as you can. Now I see why like how athletes have a hard time working
Yeah.
right away. Instead, like the guy from high school that just went right to work, and then boom, he's been doing that for how many years already? Because they right out of high school, they didn't have that downtime of. I mean, college is so lax
Yeah.
that how do you work after that? You know what I mean? It's like I just went to class for an hour, came back home for a few hours, went back for one class, slept the rest of the day, or went to practice, and then that's it all day, all 5 days a week. So it's like, and then from that, then you got to go to a 9 to 5. Like I can't do that. I got to make this
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. I guess that also goes back to what we talked about how you grew up around just such amazing athletes. Like, you got a lot to live up to, and you're also around people who are living that kind of lifestyle. So it'd be weird if you're the one guy who's like a farmer and everyone else is just a professional fighter.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's just much. I would assume that it's much harder both ways. Somebody that tries to be an athlete, and then somebody that tries to go in the workforce, like switch it up. You know, it's tough either way you go.
Yep, for sure. Well, man, thanks so much for doing this. Kai Kamaka the third just signed to Bellator. Hopefully, we see you in December.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, I'm hoping a lot. So if I get that date, I'll be happy to end the year off strong.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye.